We are Eric. Early recognition is critical.
Today we're going to talk about marking and the force. Now the mark is the single most important defender on the field because they have the most effect on where the disc can and can't go. It's important to understand our goal and our role as the mark. Now lots of people think that your goal is actually to get blocks on the mark, but what we found is that players that go for blocks end up giving up throws to parts of the field where we don't want it to go. We have two primary goals as the marker. The first is to take away throws to a certain part of the field. That might mean we're forcing forehand or forcing backhand, and we're taking away just one side or even just a quarter of the field. Typically, we're taking away the downfield space, moving towards the offense's end zone. Our second primary goal as the mark is to distract the thrower. Now, great throwers love to stand, survey the field, and throw without pressure. If we can pressure that mark and get in their head, make them uncomfortable, we're going to be more likely to make them throw later in the count, which is going to put more pressure on them to make an accurate throw and lead to more turnovers. An effective mark uses short, quick steps with a wide base on the mark. We like to talk about having an active mark, and to do that, we have to have active feet. In terms of our body positioning, we always want to make sure that we're balanced. That means we're not leaning too far one way, either forward, back, side to side, and we're also keeping our back straight, which is going to allow us to see more and stay balanced. We want to be unpredictable with our hands, while also keeping our hands in the most common areas that throws get released from. Generally, we want to keep our hands lower more of the time because most throws come out hip level or below. The last thing we need to talk about is what we're doing with our eyes. Where do we look? What do we look for? The truth is, we're looking for lots of things all at once. And each of those things in combination is going to give us an idea of what to do with our hands, where to stand, and what the thrower is actually thinking and doing. Watching what the thrower is doing with their hands can also tell us what to do with our body and our hands. A lot of times a thrower will hold the disc out ready to throw, and we want to get our hand where we think that disc is going to be released. Because the more we can get them to adjust their release point, the less sure they're going to be about the throw, and that's going to lead to turnovers. In general, in ultimate, we throw where we look. So looking at the thrower's eyes can tell us a lot about what we should do with our body and our positioning as a mark. One thing we want to try not to focus too much on when we're marking is the thrower's shoulders. If you focus on the shoulders, you're going to be susceptible to shimmies and shoulder fakes. That's going to get you off balance, and great throwers know how to get a mark off balance to get the throw that they want. So try to focus on the eyes, their body position, and where their hands are, because those are the three main areas that give us the most information about where that throw is going to go. Even though we're not running when we're marking, the mark is not a time to rest. We want to put in maximum effort on that mark because remember, we're the first line of defense, and the more we distract that thrower, the higher the stall count's going to get, the more likely we are to generate turnovers, and that's what we want as a defense. When we work on our marking, we want to start with our feet. We want to have our feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. Nice. We want to have our knees bent. We want to have our back straight, okay? We're getting rid of our hands right now so we can focus on our feet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take short, quick, choppy steps because we're quicker when our steps are shorter. Our throwers are just going to pivot slowly back and forth We want to stay lined up with the middle of your chest on their throwing shoulder. So when Jaden pivots out to his forehand, we want to stay right there. We're going to stay low, and when he comes to his backhand, we're staying right there with our chest lined up with his throwing shoulder. All right, you're going to do a stall count. We're just doing this straight up mark for now. Let's try it. 3, 2, 1, disc in, short, choppy step, stay low, good. Short, choppy steps, stay low, Nico. Stay as low as you can, good, short, choppy steps. Excellent, excellent, we're staying balanced, and great. Let's switch it, we'll switch spots and give the yellow team a chance to do it. And 3, 2, 1, disc in, low and choppy, good. Quick steps, quick steps, quick steps. Good, nice slow pivots so he can practice. Good, get our hands out of there, Juliana. Good, good, and freeze it. Switch back. All right, so we really want to focus on those feet first. Now we're gonna speed up those pivots, give it a little more game realistic feel. Remember, we're keeping our back straight, knees bent, short, choppy, quick feet. Ready, let's try it again. Throwers, we're a little bit more aggressive with our pivots, but we're not really trying to fake them out. We just want to give them a feel so that they can practice. And 3, 2, 1, disc in. Short, quick steps, Nico. Short, quick ones. Short, quick ones. Good, good. We're pivoting out to the side so that they can practice. Excellent, Zach. And freeze it. Let's switch it. Nice. All right, Juliana. Let's get rid of those hands, stay nice and low, bend those knees back straight. 3, 2, 1, disc in. Awesome, stay low, stay low. Keep that shoulder lined up with your chest, good. Now that we've got a solid base and we're staying balanced, we're gonna add our hands into our mark. Remember, our goal is to distract the thrower. So we're gonna be unpredictable with our hands, and we're gonna keep them low more than high because most throws tend to come out lower, okay? So we're gonna do that same drill. You're gonna do a stall count up to 10. Throwers, you're pivoting nice and slow, but we're gonna add those hands. We're gonna keep them unpredictable. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, disc in. Active hands, keep them low. Keep them a little lower, Nico, a little lower. Good, keep them active, keep them active. Keep them active and keep them low. Good, good. Excellent, low and active, beautiful. And switch it. Let's get another rep for the other side. All right, same thing. Remember, we're active hands and active feet. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, disc in. Get low, Jaden. Get that butt down, stay low, good, good. Stay down low, Peter. Even if he fakes up high, we're gonna keep it mostly low. Good, active feet, active feet, active feet. Awesome, awesome. If we want to make this a little more realistic, we can have our throwers act like they're going to act in a game. Most throwers don't do a lot of pivoting and a lot of faking all the time. Let's do a little more slower pivoting, maybe a fake, but not so chaotic as throwers. That's going to be more realistic for our markers. Same drill with our hands, active feet, active hands. 3, 2, 1, disc in. Stay low now, Nico. Stay low. Good. Yep. That's all right. Here we go, Daniel. Stay low. Active feet. Keep those feet moving. Keep those feet moving. Great. Yes. Yes, Daniel. Yes, active and low. Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. Let's switch it. Nice, Nico. Here we go. Here we go, Jaden. We're active and low. Throwers, we're a little more deliberate and game-like. And disc in. Here we go, Jackson. Low hands, active, active. Good. Be unpredictable with those hands and active feet. Nice. There we go. There we go, Tony. Now that we're getting good at distracting that thrower, being unpredictable, now we need to keep in mind the objective of our defense, which is going to rely on the mark to take away one side of the field. So we have a forced forehand and a forced backhand mark. Let's get my throwers to hold out their forehand. When we're forced forehand, we want the throw to go over to the forehand side, so you can just pause with that forehand. That means our mark's job is to make the disc go over there. They want to take away the backhand with their body position. They're going to take an angle that forces the player to throw to that side of the field. They're gonna do that with their feet. They're gonna use their arms to distract the thrower. If we're doing a backhand mark, it's gonna be over here on the other side. Can we have our throwers hold out the backhand? Good. We still want to stay on their throwing shoulder, so if he's over there, we can be right here. We don't want them to throw to the forehand side, so we're a little bit on this side of our player, Nico, right? A lot of times when we work with new players, we expect them to be able to do the backhand and forehand mark right away. We need to teach them the process of setting that backhand or forehand mark, because that's just as important as what they're doing on the mark. So what we're gonna have is our black team back up a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call out a force. You're gonna think in your head which side that's gonna be. You're gonna run up and set the force, either a forehand mark or a backhand mark, okay? I'm gonna tell you the mark, and then I'm gonna say go, give you that little bit of wait time to think about it, and then you're gonna go set the mark, and that's it. Then we're gonna have you come back. Okay, here we go. First one will be forehand force, go. Good. Done. Black team, bring it back. One more time. And backhand force, go. Good. And come back. Let's do it one more time. Really hustle in there. Get low, get those hands active. And forehand, go. Excellent. Beautiful. It's really important to build that progression in. We can't expect too much of our players right away. We got to do each individual step. Now that we know how to put on the force, we got to put it all together, simulating a game catch. So Jackson, in a second, is going to throw the disc up to himself to simulate that game catch. What Zach is going to do is he's going to round out here to take away this part of the field earlier. Okay? What this is simulating is taking away a continuation pass and then setting a mark. So if I call force forehand, he's gonna think to himself, okay, I gotta set up on that side, I'm gonna round out this way. If I say force backhand, he's gonna come out to this side. Here we go, force backhand, go. Round it out, take away that side. We're active hands, active feet. Stay low, Peter, stay low with those hands. Be unpredictable. Be unpredictable, Jackson, nice. Awesome. Pressure that throwing shoulder. Beautiful. Force, backhand. Go. Remember, when we're working with new players, it's important to break down each part of the mark. Our goals are to distract the thrower while also doing our part in terms of the team defense. It can be really hard to know when your mark is effective. So there's a few things we can look for. One is if the thrower is pivoting a lot. Remember, we know that great throwers just love to stand and shoot, so the more pivots that we force, the later the stall count is getting, and the more likely we are to force a throw that's going to somewhere on the field that isn't advantageous for the offense. You'll also know you're doing this right if you see that thrower feeling flustered and feeling agitated. That's why we stay dynamic, that's why we stay active, because a flustered, agitated, distracted thrower is more likely to turn that disc over.
Left without a dump, has some force at the